was supposed to be a journey of adventure and luxury, a transatlantic voyage like no other. The SS Andrea Doria, an Italian floating palace of grandeur, sailed with pride, carrying over 1,000 souls across the vast ocean. But on a foggy night in July 1956, that dream turned into a nightmare. Suddenly, the pride of Italy transformed into a scene of chaos and desperation, unseen, unheard, until it was too late. A catastrophic encounter with the Swedish liner MS Stockholm led to a frantic race against time. Lives hung in the balance as icy waters rushed in. Join us as we plunge deep into the harrowing tale of this tragic night that became one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. The Andrea Doria, a masterpiece of Italian shipbuilding, was constructed by the Ansaldo shipyards in Genoa, Italy. Launched in 1951 and entering service in 1953, the ship measured 697 feet in length and 90 feet in width, with a gross tonnage of 29,100 tons. Designed to carry 1,241 passengers and 500 crew, the ship was divided into three classes: first, cabin, and tourist, each offering varying levels of luxury and comfort. The amenities aboard the vessel were unparalleled. The first-class section boasted opulent dining rooms, elegant lounges, a winter garden, and a swimming pool, all adorned with original works of art by renowned Italian artists. The ship featured air-conditioned cabins, a rarity at the time, ensuring a comfortable journey across the Atlantic. Passengers could enjoy gourmet meals prepared by top chefs, accompanied by fine wines and impeccable service. Entertainment options included a cinema, a ballroom with live music, and various recreational activities, catering to the diverse interests of its affluent clientele. She quickly earned a reputation as one of the most luxurious liners of its era, symbolizing Italian sophistication and innovation. Its advanced safety features, including multiple watertight compartments and modern radar equipment, further enhanced its prestige as a cutting-edge vessel. This combination of elegance, comfort, and safety made her a preferred choice for transatlantic travelers seeking a lavish and memorable voyage. The MS Stockholm, launched in 1946, was built by the Götaverken shipyard in Gothenburg, Sweden for the Swedish-American line. The ship was 525 feet long and 63 feet wide, with a gross tonnage of approximately 12,165 tons. Designed to accommodate around 548 passengers, it catered primarily to those traveling between Europe and North America, offering a reliable and comfortable means of transatlantic transport. The ship earned a reputation for its sturdy construction and dependable service. The ship's robust design and efficient operation reflected the Swedish-American line's commitment to safety and service, bolstering Stockholm's standing as a respected and well-regarded liner in the post-war transatlantic travel market. On that fateful night, Stockholm became tragically intertwined with maritime history after colliding with Andrea Doria. This catastrophic event would forever link the names of these two ships in the annals of ocean-going lore. The Andrea Doria embarked on its maiden voyage from Genoa, Italy, and New York City, USA, in January 1953, marking the beginning of its transatlantic service. While primarily operating between Genoa and New York, the ship also punctuated seasonal cruises in the Mediterranean and occasional visits to Caribbean ports. The MS Stockholm provided regular service between Gothenburg, Sweden, and New York City. It occasionally made stops at other European ports, such as Southampton, enhancing its flexibility and accessibility for travelers. Seasonally, the ship also ventured into the Mediterranean and Caribbean, delighting passengers with leisure cruises to picturesque destinations. The collision between the Andrea Doria and the MS Stockholm on the night of July 25, 1956, was a tragic event marked by a series of navigational errors and challenging weather conditions. Both ships were navigating through dense fog off the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts, a common hazard in the North Atlantic during summer. The Andrea Doria, en route to New York City from Genoa, and the Stockholm, heading to Gothenburg from New York, relied heavily on their radar systems due to the poor visibility. The Doria was traveling at 21.8 knots, maintaining its course despite the fog. Meanwhile, Stockholm was moving at approximately 18 knots. Stockholm's crew had identified her on their radar, but misjudgments about the ship's distance and speed led them to believe they could safely pass by. Simultaneously, Doria's radar officer believed Stockholm was farther away than it actually was, leading to a delay in evasive action, thinking they had more time to maneuver. As the two ships continued on their respective paths, it became evident that they were on a collision course. Efforts to communicate between the two vessels failed, adding to the confusion. At the last moment, the Stockholm turned to starboard to avoid the Doria, while Doria attempted a hard turn to port. At 11:10 p.m., Stockholm's reinforced icebreaker bow struck the starboard side of the Doria at a nearly perpendicular angle. The impact occurred forward midsection of the Doria, penetrating about 30 feet into the ship's hull. This collision created a massive breach, flooding several compartments and causing Doria to list severely to starboard. On Doria, the decision to abandon the ship was made within 30 minutes of the collision. Lifeboats were evenly distributed on each side of the boat deck, but the severe list rendered the portside lifeboats unusable. They hung high in the air, and lowering them would cause them to tip and collide with the ship's hull. On the starboard side, the list complicated normal procedures, necessitating the lowering of empty lifeboats and boarding them at water level using ropes and Jacob's ladders. To avoid panic, Captain Calamai delayed the abandoned ship order until rescue ships arrived. Meanwhile, Second Officer Guido Badano instructed passengers to don life vests and go to muster stations. Doria's limited radio range required distress messages to be relayed by other ships. The busy shipping lane proved advantageous, with the first response from the freighter Cape Ann, followed by the USNS Private William H. Thomas and the USS Edward H. Allen. The French liner Ile-de-France, under Captain Raoul de Baudion, initially skeptical, turned back after realizing the severity of the situation, arriving less than 3 hours after the collision. Despite efforts, many of Doria's starboard lifeboats were underloaded, carrying only about 200 people. The Stockholm, after ensuring its own safety, sent lifeboats to assist in the rescue, initially taking many survivors aboard. As the fog lifted, the Ile-de-France illuminated the scene, providing emotional relief. It rescued the bulk of the remaining passengers using its lifeboats and those of other rescue ships. Survivors were welcomed aboard with acts of kindness, including passengers giving up their cabins. In total, 1,663 people were rescued, 545 by Stockholm, 129 by Cape Ann, 159 by U.S. Army Private William H. Thomas, 77 by Edward H. Allen, and 753 by the Ile-de-France. A few hours after the collision, a young Italian girl and injured Stockholm crewmen were airlifted by Coast Guard and Air Force helicopters. Most of the rescued passengers and some crew were hospitalized upon arrival in New York. The collision resulted in Doria sinking within 11 hours, while the Stockholm managed to limp back to New York for repairs. Unfortunately, 51 lives were lost in the collision and sinking, consisting of 46 passengers from the Doria and 5 members of the crew of the Stockholm. Of the 46 passengers lost aboard the Doria, 43 died as a result of the collision. No remains were ever recovered of these casualties, and they are believed to remain entombed within the wreck. After the collision between the Doria and the Stockholm, several improvements were made in maritime law to enhance safety and prevent similar disasters. Radar training was enhanced. Crews received better training in the use and interpretation of radar. This included understanding radar echoes and making accurate distance and speed assessments of nearby vessels. More clear and standardized communication protocols were established for ships to convey their positions, courses, and intentions effectively, especially in poor visibility conditions. Navigation rules were revised to emphasize safer speeds in fog and other low visibility conditions, as well as better procedures for collision avoidance. Regulations were introduced to ensure that lifeboats are more accessible and operable even in the event of a severe list. The Automatic Identification System, or AIS, became mandatory, allowing ships to automatically broadcast their identity, position, course, and speed to other nearby vessels, enhancing situational awareness. These changes collectively improved maritime safety, reducing the risk of collisions and enhancing emergency response measures. The wreck of the Andrea Doria has become a significant site for deep-sea exploration and has garnered a reputation due to its challenging conditions. She lies approximately 240 feet, about 73 meters, below the surface, 50 nautical miles south of Nantucket. Divers get drawn to the wreck for its historical value and the opportunity to explore a once luxurious ocean liner. The wreck provides a glimpse into mid-20th century maritime design and grandeur. Over the years, divers have retrieved numerous artifacts from the wreck, including china, silverware, and personal items. These relics offer a tangible connection to the ship's past and its passengers. The wreck has been steadily deteriorating due to saltwater corrosion and the impact of ocean currents. Parts of the vessel have collapsed, making navigation through the wreck more perilous. Doria's challenging conditions have led to several diver fatalities over the years, underscoring the dangers of exploring such a deep and complex wreck. As we reflect on the tragedy of Andrea Doria, it stands as a poignant reminder of both the marvels and the dangers of ocean travel. The collision and subsequent sinking have left an indelible mark on maritime history, shaping safety protocols and maritime regulations for decades to come. Remembering events like these not only honors the lives lost, but also underscores the resilience and innovation that emerged from such catastrophic events. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Please like, share, and subscribe for more captivating stories from the depths of our past. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.